All right, guys. Section 2.1 is slope-intercept form of a line. You guys should know that slope-intercept form is y is equal to mx plus b. If you don't have that memorized yet, please do so. Super important from pre-algebra last year. So now we're going to transform this a little bit. A new equation I want you to know is y is equal to a times x minus h plus k. We're just basically taking what we already know about slope-intercept form and renaming it, if you will, moving things around to help us out. So, reminder, what does slope represent or m represent? It's our slope. Okay, it's our slope or our rise over run, or some people also like to say the change in y over the change in x. Okay, our b is our y intercept, where my graph crosses the y-intercept. Now, we want you to start thinking about this new equation using A, H, and K. We're basically doing the same thing, guys, but we're just rewording and renaming some of these things, okay? So A is going to be my slope. That has not changed, all right? The K is going to be my y-intercept. My y-intercept, okay? When we talk transformations, it also moves things up or down. And this H we're going to be focusing on later, but it basically moves my graph, my parent graph to the left, new graph to the left or right. Okay, so we have the slope, the steepness, H is moving the graph left or right, and then K moves it up or down, okay? So this y-intercept is actually the same as this B up above. This K is the same as the B. In case you don't recall from pre-algebra last year, the equation used to determine the slope between 2 points is the change in y over the change of x. This you need to have memorized, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 over x sub 2 over x sub 1. Also from pre-algebra, also a review, you can determine the slope of a line by going from one point to another and counting the rise over the run, noting whether the graph is increasing from left to right or decreasing. Okay, so here they say if the slope of a line is 2 and it has a y-intercept of -6, what is the line in slope-intercept form? Well, we know slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b. They give me my slope. So I'm going to plug that in for m. So we know y equals 2x plus my y-intercept is -6. Okay, basically now that we're in algebra, we should probably erase that plus -6 and just say -6. So that's telling me my slope is 2. Oh man, is 2. And my y-intercept is at -6. If the slope of a line is 7, whoa, sorry, if the y-intercept of a line is 7, the slope is 1/2, what is the equation in slope-intercept form? Well, we know y would have to equal, my slope is 1/2 x plus 7. Here's where things get trickier. If a line passes through, they give me a point, all right, of 1, 6 and has a slope of -2. What is the equation of the line and slope intercept form? Well, if I have y equals mx plus b, I know my slope is -2, right? So we'll have y equals -2x plus, I need to solve my y-intercept. Remember this idea of a y-intercept, guys. If I have a coordinate plane, my y-intercept is right here, right? This is my y-axis, so they want to let me know where it's crossing the y-axis. Well, if I were to graph the point 1, 6, it's up here. I don't know where it's crossing the y-intercept. So I need to go through, all right, and find that out. So hear me out. If I have 1, 6, this is my x, this is my y. We're trying to figure out where it's crossing this y-intercept. So I'm going to plug 6 in for y. So we have 6 is equal to, because I'm trying to find this b, the y-intercept. 6 is equal to, my slope was -2 times 1, because that was my x, plus b. So I get 6 equals -2 plus b. Solve for b, I'm adding 2 both sides. So I get 8. b equals 8. So my y-intercept must be 8. Which makes sense. Since I have a negative slope, okay, I'm going down 2 over 1, down 2 over 1. The opposite of going down 2 over 1 is going up 2 to the left 1, up 2 to the left 1. So I know my slope is going down. Okay, let's talk about number four. Number four has 2 points, so this one's a little bit more work. We don't know, okay, if I have y equals mx plus b, this is a multi-step problem. We don't know my slope. We don't know my y-intercept. So we have to find my slope. It's always y2 minus y1. So y2, if I have x, y, my y2, so my slope is equal to my 3 minus 4, y2 minus y1 over x2, which is 2, minus x1. So 3 minus 4 is -1. 2 minus 1 gives me 1. So my slope is 1. Now, plug in your points. Doesn't matter which point you use to plug back in to solve for your b, right? We have my m. So I know y is equal to -1x. Now I need to solve for b. I'm going to use 1, 4 because I feel like it. You can use 2, 3. You should get the same answer. Y is 4 because we have x and y equals my slope is -1 times x. My x is 1 plus b. 4 equals -1 plus b. I'm going to add 1 both sides. I should get 5. Now, if you did the other 2 points, you should have 3 is equal to, my slope was -1 times 2 plus b. Get 3 equals -2 plus b. Add 2 both sides. You're still going to get 5 equals b. All right. So slope, y sub 2 minus y sub 1. We're finding our slope, and then we're finding our y-intercept from those points. All right. This next one, it says if a line crosses the x-axis at 7, so I'm going to draw this off or draw this out here. So you might remember this is my y, this is my x. So they're saying if it crosses over here at 7 and the y at -5, that's down here, that means it's going to have a positive slope, right? What is the equation of the line and slope intercept form? Well, let's think about it. What point is this right here on the x? Well, I go 7 to the right, 0 up and down. Down here, I have 0, -5. So what do I need to do to write this in slope-intercept form? Well, we're going to have to subtract our y's over our x's, find our slope first, right? So we have my slope is always y2 minus y1. So I have y2 is -5 minus y1 is 0 over x2, 0, minus 7. I'm going to get -5 over -7, which simplifies to 5/7 for my slope. Now, you might remember one of these 2 points, I like to call it literally the freebie, because if I have y equals mx plus b, I could plug both of these points back in to solve my y-intercept. But do I already know my y-intercept? Yeah, freebie. So I get y equals 5/7 x minus 5 for my equation. All right. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and try number 6. Hint, hint. Take your time. Hint, hint. Think about double negatives in those x's. And we are going to talk about graphing. This is the fun stuff. So graph by slope intercept form. Remember, graphing is y equals mx plus b for slope intercept form. Graphing by slope intercept. Always make sure the equation is in slope intercept form before you graph. Step 1 is always to start by plotting the y-intercept and then use rise over run to help you out. Okay, so for this first one, my y-intercept is at 5. We're going to put a dot there. My slope is -2. So I go down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1, down 2 to the right 1. Draw a straight line. I like to see 2 points to the right of the y-intercept and 2 to the left. So up 2 over 1. Oh man. Up 2, 1, 2 over 1. Things you need to remember are the arrows on this, all right? Second problem, I'm going to have you guys do that on your own. Pause the screen. So we're at 1, 2, 3. -3. Up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. So we go up 1 over 2. Up 1 over 2. Down 1 to the left 2. Down 1 to the left 2. All right. This next one, I'm going to have you guys do on your own. And I'm going to hop in on this last one. This one is not in slope-intercept form. For it to be in slope-intercept form, we need y by itself, right? Y equals mx plus b. So let's start solving for y. To do that, I'm going to add 6 both sides. I'm left with 3y equals 3x plus 6. Divide both sides by 3. Now it's in slope-intercept. We have y equals x plus 2. Go ahead and graph that one for me. This is 2, 1 on slope-intercept form.